Hi, it's good
Oh, they're
to
coming in
see
fast. Hey,
everybody.
everyone. Welcome.
Hello. Oh, I see Mary Kuna, our newest member. It's good to see you.
Where's Mary?
Hi, Mary.
There's Mary. I love your background. This is like, everyone comes in muted. So it's like the lip sync social event, I've been accused of really bad humor.
By whom?
Oh,
Who would say such a thing?
Just Larry. That's right. Happy Monday, everyone. Good to see everyone out today. We are on a Zoom meeting, obviously. Remember, the top right-hand corner of your screen has all of the Zoom options. So you can, zoom in on the speaker or zoom out or whatever, as the case might be, if you would like to ignore everybody else instead of the speaker. I see two chats come in. Accused of bad humor, guilty as charged. It's a tough gig. It's a very tough gig. We're at 12:01. We've got some people coming in yet, so we'll give it just a minute, but we are about ready for that bell to ring. Let's do it. Go ahead and ring the bell, Adeline, and we'll get our meeting underway.
Not ringing today. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding. That's right. Happy Monday, Rotary Club of Harrisburg. It's the season of giving and the year is winding down. Wait a minute. That was my script from the last meeting in December. The year is not winding down. It's just getting started, right? But let's make 2021 still a season of giving if we could. Wasn't that fun? I really, I waited all year to be able to do that. And now was my opportunity. But it is good to see everyone. In today's meeting, we'll be looking back some over the year, and we'll be looking forward at the year coming up. So it's good to have you out, and we'll be hearing from some special people as well. But let's open our meeting with Douglas Piper and an invocation.
I just want to thank you for the opportunity to be here, and thank you, Matt, for being our greeter, and Adeline for doing your work, and thank you for our very good president. His name is James Good, in any case anybody wants to know. But what I want to do is pray very especially for the fact of, I like your title today. Lord, I just thank for the wonderful title that James Good is going to be using today, his ABCs. 1, accomplishments. B, blessings to our Rotary Club. C, challenges. And S, steps to take. The beauty of being a Rotarian is we can do it because we could do it together and we can accomplish much. And so thank you, Lord, for this opportunity to be together. And may we really make 2021 a good year and not a bad year. And I pray all these things in your wonderful and holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Doug. I now have the title of my presentation today.
In case you forgot.
All right, today's song is This Land Is Your Land, which was written by Woody Guthrie and performed by our very own club member Rotarian, Nate Hartwig.
This land is my land, from to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that endless highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of diamond deserts. And all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, to the redwood forest and the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As the sun was setting and I was strolling, the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds growing, a voice was chanting as the fog was lifted. Oh, this land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Oh, this land was made for you and me.
Thank you, Nate. Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the Rotary four-way test of all the things we think, say, and do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Let's keep the Rotary four-way test front and center as we go through our week. We've got just a few announcements, quick things to cover here this morning. Our lunch money this week is being donated to the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank. Speaking of the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank, if you'd like to donate over and above, or if your lunch money is not included in your dues, just pop out to centralpafoodbank.org and click on the Give Now button to give directly to the food bank. We're going to be packing boxes of food again on Monday evening, January 25th. This is something we've been doing throughout the Rotary year. Click on the link in the Rotary Roundup, delivered right to your email inbox every Friday, or go to the events calendar on the Rotary Club of Harrisburg website to sign up and get registered for that event. So if you were reading the Roundup, you saw a secret hint in the Roundup this week. And there was a number in the Roundup, and I'd like to kind of capitalize on that number at this point. everyone go out to the chat box, to the chat function. And I'd like you to type in a number. The number we're typing in is the number of boxes of food that you believe that the Rotary Club of Harrisburg has packed so far this year. Go ahead, type it in. The first 5 people to give us the correct number will be sending a very special gift and a very special thank you from the Rotary Club of Harrisburg. We've got 15,000, we've got 2,000, we have 312, we have 1,800. Did anyone read the roundup? We have 1,000, we have 1,200, we have 1,200, we have 15,000, we have 2,000, we have 312. So far, we have not gotten the correct answer. 1.2 trillion, no. Frank Fraley thinks 1,000. Tony Mark thinks 1,000. Karen Good thinks 1,000. Brian Jones 1,000, and that's four correct answers. We don't have 5, but we have packed 1,000 boxes of food, approximately. You know, we started counting at about the 3rd event that we did, and I just think that's exciting. We'll talk more about that, but thanks to everyone for participating in our little quiz. Adeline, are you able to write those down, the names of those folks? We have McKaylee, we have Brian Jones, we have Tony Mark, Frank Fraley, and Karen Good. All right, so much for the secret hint. I've got to get back on my agenda here. If you'd like to volunteer to be helping out at the Susquehanna Safe Haven Homeless Shelter or the Women's Overnight Shelter, make sure you send a note to Steve Swartz. Steve's email is at the top of the slide. There is a Zoom training meeting tonight at 5 o'clock. You know, what's the deal with the homeless shelters? Well, each year Rotary helps to staff 2 winter walk-in homeless shelters in Harrisburg, one for men, one for women. Anyone interested in volunteering, again, get signed up for that, get in touch with Steve. We understand that in the presence of COVID, it kind of makes some complications. So some volunteers from prior years may not feel comfortable volunteering, and other people are okay with that. So sign up, get in touch with Steve, and get training if you'd like to be a part of helping in that way. Thank you so much to our corporate members for your support. We appreciate your support. Your financial support really makes it possible for us to be engaging in the many humanitarian projects that we work on each year. And now we're going to take a minute to do the first of a special series that we put together called Meet the Board Member, done in a fashion that helps you to get introduced to a board member and also some of the work that that person is doing. Today we'll be featuring President-elect Matt Staub.
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time is now. In case you forgot.
All right, Matt, I told you it would be kind of self-evident when you were up, so you're on.
All right, that was way more of an introduction than I was hoping for, but I appreciate the theatrics. Thanks a lot for a few minutes here today. It's great to get the opportunity to address the club. A little under 6 months before I take over what is hopefully a podium and not a Zoom mic. Hopefully everybody else feels the same way there as well. Before I even get started, I just want to say real quick that, this hasn't been the easiest year for, really reaching out and be able to get together in person and get to know people, particularly some of the new members. But I'd really like to hear from you. So don't hesitate to, give me a call, and I'll certainly be reaching out to many of you over the next few months leading up to the new Rotary year. Give me a moment while I share. I have some pictures that I want to share throughout this today. All right, hopefully that's working. So a little bit about me for those of you that haven't had, the opportunity to get to know me a little better over the last few years. I was born and raised in central Pennsylvania. I went to Lebanon Valley College and graduated in 2010. And I have a master's degree in economics from Temple, where I graduated in 2012. My wife and I, this is the two of us, my wife, Sarah, who was also a Rotary Club member. We moved to Harrisburg in 2013. And we bought and renovated our little house on Penn Street, 1500 block of Penn Street in 2014. And that was a lot of fun at the time, but there's certainly no way I'm ever buying and renovating a house again. That's just not my style, but we like it. We'll be there for at least a little bit longer. Professionally, I'm a partner and investment advisor at PSI Capital Management, which is a registered investment advisory firm. And my wife is a partner at McNeese, Wallace & Nurick. She's an attorney and recently became the co-chair of the White Collar Defense and Internal Investigations group over there. We have been told that we're a little bit of workaholics, and we're not really happy about that. So we've been trying to do a lot to sort of combat that. One of the things that's very important to us is we're avid travelers. The last trip we were able to go on was at the end of 2019. We went on an 11-day trip to Budapest, Prague, and Munich, a nice little city hopping tour there. I will say that my favorite place that I have ever been in the world is the island of Eleuthera in the Bahamas. And, if anybody gets the opportunity to go there, I would strongly recommend it. It is a gorgeous place. It's rugged. It's a little bit unpredictable. So it's our kind of vacation. But if you go there and you go on a Friday and you go to Governor's Harbor, there's a thing called the Anchor Bay Fish Fry, and it's an absolute, something you absolutely cannot miss, including the rum bubbas, which I've been told is rum and a mixture of fruit juices, but I'm pretty sure it's just rum. So this past year, though, we haven't been able to travel a whole lot, and we're the type of people that really don't like to sit still. So we really had to come up with a new hobby. So we, of course, went out and bought ourselves a little 16-foot boat that we keep. It's just a nice little deck boat. We keep it on the river in Harrisburg. There's obviously not the river in Harrisburg in this photo, but you get the picture. So that's been really fun, a great way to hang out with a couple friends and stay socially distanced while enjoying ourselves outside. So on top of everything else, I'm a boat guy now. Before getting onto some comments about Rotary and my time in the club, there are two other things that I do in the community that I'm very proud of. One is that I'm a Hack Foundation board member. I've been on that for about a year and a half now. I'm very proud to serve on that board. And another is that I am the financial officer for the Foundation for Children with Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities, which is a mouthful, but we shorten it to FCIDD. And that is an organization that sends out just under $1 million a year to children with developmental disabilities, primarily autism. I've been involved with them for about 3 to 4 years now, and that's an organization I'm very proud to be associated with. So my time in the club so far here in Harrisburg, I joined right at the end of 2014, right after moving to Harrisburg. And although I wasn't involved in Interact or Rotaract or any of those, I've had exposure to Rotary since I was in high school. My father's been a longtime Rotarian in the Hanover Club. And for those of you that don't know him, Greg Staub, he is the incoming district governor for this year. So you will eventually be hearing him speak to the club. Me personally, why I joined, I know everybody has a personal story or their own reasons for joining a Rotary club. Mine were very personal. This is my mother-in-law. Her name's Penny, and she is a 2-time polio survivor. She had polio first when she was 19 years old. Grew up in some relatively rough circumstances, and clean water was just one of those things that wasn't always guaranteed. And then she got it again a second time when my wife Sarah was getting her vaccinations when she was a child. And you hear all the time that some of the efforts to really push the final leg of polio eradication have been struggling a bit, and I think it's because people don't see it. It's just not common enough for particularly people in my generation. For people that don't know me, I'm 33 years old. Younger people just don't see this as much. They're not as familiar with the havoc that it wreaked on people. And I've seen that firsthand, not just for Penny herself. She has a lot of lingering health issues, post-polio syndrome, a variety of autoimmune issues. And it's made her life very difficult, but it's also made the life of her direct family and intergenerationally even, affecting her daughter's life and my life as well. It's really hard to convey to people a disease like that, how it affects not just the person with it, but their family units, their intergenerational family units and communities that were affected by this. So the reason I joined Rotary, you look at this organization that has made eradicating this disease, it's one of its singular focuses. And that meant a lot to me to be associated with a club that does that and to support those efforts. In terms of my involvement in the club, I originally joined with a lot of interest in international service projects, particularly the Haiti Water Project. And, I got hooked up with James relatively early on in the club and talking to him about the trip that they did. I think was it 2014, James? The first that you did? Yeah. And then I had the opportunity to go in 2017. And, I have this photo here pretty close to the village of Gardere where we did the large water tank project. And whenever I talk to somebody about Haiti, I always like to put a gorgeous photo up. And I thought this was a stunning view and representative of the country and what it actually is and what it can be, rather than everybody always focusing on, the more devastating pictures that are usually associated with Haiti. And I would also like to, in 2017, I got to go down there with James and Karen and their son and some other Rotary members. Bruce Grossman was there, Bob Saline. And I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to acknowledge that John Judson was on that trip. And I have to say that being in Haiti with John was probably one of the best experiences in my life. If anybody wants to, get together for a beer sometime and talk about John in Haiti, that's something I absolutely would not pass up. Unfortunately, over the past few years, things in Haiti have kind of stalled a little bit. It's been very hard to get another project out there. We tried to get something at the end of 2018 into early 2019. Had some problems with the partnership with the water project for Haiti and their stewardships being vacant. And then, 2019, there was internal stability issues in the country. And now in 2020, the global travel restrictions, it's just been very hard to get anything off the ground. But that certainly, I don't think is going to deter either myself or James or this club moving forward and trying to get after that. So that being said, I have to say I'm approaching my upcoming year serving as president a little different than most. I have been pretty blessed in this club so far over the last 6 years to witness and learn from some extraordinary leadership. Since I've entered the club, the presidents have been the late Karen Snyder, Betty Hungerford, Steve Feinauer, Sam Levine, Andy Rebuck, Joyce Libby, and now James Good. And if you take all of the service of those people and put it together, it's absolutely astounding to think about. For most of the presidents that come in, it tends to be a culmination of a long time of service. I myself, I'm 33 years old. I've been in this club for 6 years. It means a lot to me. And I'm honored to be able to be the incoming president. But rather than looking at this as that culmination, for me, most of my Rotary service and my community service and everything down to my professional life lies ahead of me. And I'm not going to look at that as a handicap for sure. I look at it as an opportunity and one that I'm really excited about. So, I'm trying to trying to nail down some goals for my year as president, which I, will eventually lay out. But the way I'm looking at things right now, and I'm going to steal something straight from Andy Rebuck here, because I thought it was really good. We talked about this the other day. He gave me a great metaphor, and that's Rotary as a stool. And Rotary as a stool is only as stable as the three legs that support it. And those legs are membership, service, and fellowship. And over the last year, I really think we can all agree that each one of those has been challenged in its own way. And to keep the club strong and healthy, we're going to have to keep pushing after each one of those legs. Not one of them, not two of them, but all three. And I think it's going to be really important to push engagement, just keeping the club engaged. And I will give a tremendous amount of credit to the board and to James this year in a very difficult situation, keeping club members engaged and moving along in the business that is Rotary and keeping this club moving forward. And I believe that it will be my goal to keep that going and to make sure that we keep people engaged, even if it continues to be a difficult environment. So with that, I'll end and I'll say thanks again for the chance to speak. And I'm really looking forward to what the next year brings.
Thank you, Matt. For anyone, again, interested in being a part of that leadership string, we're calling for nominations at this point, right? It is that time of year where we open for nominations. So if you know someone that you'd like to nominate yourself or someone else as a board officer or director, get in touch with Andy Rebuck, get in touch with myself or with Adeline. And thank you, Matt, for all that you've done as a director of our club as well. Teachers. Wow, some of the most special people on the face of this earth are teachers. And Adeline, I think, are you going to be helping out here to help to honor the teachers as we do periodically throughout the year?
Yes, yeah. I would like to give a shout out to Chris Baldridge, who's been our main contact and who has been instrumental in putting this all together. And I'm just going to make sure if, let's see, besides Mrs. Teidiger and Dinoshka, if any of the other students and teachers who are being honored today, I didn't see you, but if you could send me a message in the chat, then I can unmute you. And we would like to give you 30 seconds to a minute to introduce yourselves and just say what your favorite thing about either teaching in the school district or learning in the school district is, or both. And Mrs. Teidiger, can you unmute yourself? There you go.
Sure. Hi, yes, I'm Laura Teidiger. I work at Cougar Academy. And I'm proud to be the English language development teacher. Some people may know that as ESL. And I'm proud to honor my student today as well, Dinoshka Meses Diaz. Dinoshka is the most persistent girl I know. During COVID, she has continued her studies and continuously shown improvement. She also has helped her younger sister access an education via Zoom, be it just getting help for her to get on the computer to enable them both to become successful. So because of her unselfishness, that's why I nominated her and her persistence.
And Dinoshka, would you like to take a minute to introduce yourself to the club?
To have Miss T as my teacher, because she always been there for me ever since I met her. She always supports me what I do, and if I need help, I just could call her or text her. She will text me really fast.
Thank you. Mrs. Soto, are you unmuted?
Yes.
There you go. Welcome.
Thank you. Well, my name is Arlene Soto. I am a Spanish teacher at John Harris. One thing I enjoy, my favorite thing about being a teacher there is, I would say, the students. I love their enthusiasm. I love how they're always willing and open to try new things, even the crazy things I try to do with them. So I love their enthusiasm and just their drive is just beautiful. And that's one of the things I love the most about teaching there.
Thank you so much. And I am scrolling through the pictures of folks that are on the screen. Who else do we have on the call in?
And we have Joanne Ragbier. Would you like to take a minute and introduce yourself, Joanne?
This is always one of those tough things to do in a Zoom call, right? When the audio doesn't quite come off the way that you were hoping.
How about Dr. Champong? And I apologize if I mispronounced your name.
No, you did fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all, Rotary. Most of you know me as the principal of SciTech, and I'm no longer the principal of SciTech. I'm now the director of high schools for the Harrisburg School District, but wanted to step in and introduce Dr. Grant Spencer, who's also on this call. She is now the associate principal at the SciTech campus. And for the SciTech campus, Catherine Searfoss did email you all thanking you for the award. She was unable to join today due to previous scheduled things. She does teach 9th grade honors English at the SciTech campus. And we selected her because just recently, within one day, she was able to raise $5,000 for one of our families who fire victims. So that was just amazing that she did. She was able to do that. And of course, Anissa Amat is the SciTech student, and she is a phenomenal young lady who is currently ranked #1 for the class of 2021. So, and she says thank you as well. So as always, I just absolutely love you all. I always say how great of work you all do. And I just wanted to thank you for continuing this even in the pandemic. It really means a lot to our students and our teachers. So thank you so much. And if I don't get a chance to see you anymore, thank you for all you continue to do.
Thank you.
And I just want to say there's a principals from the John Harris campus as well. They're associate principals on, Miss Nana Cadero and Miss Michelle Felton. Thank you.
Let's see, Joanne has re-entered the room. Would you like to give it another try, Joanne?
Sure. Can you guys hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Oh,
Wonderful.
yay. It works. I'm happy. Okay, well, my name is Joanne Ragbier, as you guys know. I'm a current senior at John Harris. One of the things I can say is I love the fact that teachers there will stay back after school hours just to help you. I don't know how many times I have gone back to a teacher and asked for help. Oh my gosh. I love that they will take time out of their day to help you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's part of what makes teachers special, isn't it?
All right, I think that concludes our student and teachers of the quarter section. Congratulations, guys. I'm just so thankful that we're still able to do this in a COVID environment. You guys are rock stars. You know, all the challenges that the school districts have had this year because of COVID this year and last year. You know, I just really appreciate all the hard work that you guys are doing to continue to your education and to educate. So thank you. And I'm going to turn it over to Andy Rebuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Rotarians, friends of Rotary and boys and girls of all ages, gather close, zoom in, and be prepared for the mystery and the mastery as we meet the wizard behind the proverbial curtain. That's right, be prepared to be dazzled and amazed as our club president and good friend, takes us on a magical mystery ride of a tour, outlining where we have been and perhaps where we are going in the club year 2021. From my seat on this bus, I can tell you that James has been a wonderful driver. Steady hands on the wheel, foot firmly on the gas pedal, and yet ready at any time to slam the brake pedal so we stay off the guardrail. In all seriousness, my friends, there are a few past presidents on this Zoom, and you can appreciate the challenge of hosting a weekly club meeting. And at the same time, so many of you here today certainly see the hard work put forth by James. It's a privilege, it's a pleasure to welcome to the podium the man of the year, the jokester of our Monday meetings, the one, the only James D. Good. Woo!
Well, my fellow Rotarians, we are going to get a little music here, I think. Or maybe we won't get a little music here. That was the joke part of it, right? But thanks so much, Andy, for building that up. You made me nervous, I have to tell you. And it's going to be tough to follow through my script after that. No jokes to follow or anything for sure, but we are taking time today to look back over where we've been for the last 6 or 8 months and where we are headed going forward for the remainder of this year. I'm holding in my hand today a seed, an acorn to be sure. This tiny seed, if cared for and planted, could very well be on its way to becoming a giant oak tree. And someone once said that today, somewhere, someone is sitting under the shade of a tree, taking that opportunity for cool shade, because years ago, someone planted a seed. I just want you to keep that thought in your head as we walk through our presentation today. You know, in 1905, an organization called Rotary was formed, conceived in the notion that the ideal of service above self is the basis for worthy enterprise. The story of Rotary has grown to become a great international humanitarian story, spanning more than 100 years, spanning continents, making a lasting impact and opening doors of opportunity for millions of people all around the world. Some of those millions of people are right here in the Rotary Club of Harrisburg. And some of those millions of people are sitting in this Zoom meeting today. This year, like no other year of our lifetime, has been a challenge so far. I'd like to think that the Rotarians who went before us faced challenges that they also said were no challenge like they had ever seen. But certainly this year is a challenge. At times, it may even seem as if we're surely engaged in an exercise of determining whether such an organization built on the spirit and the timeless principles of service can long endure. But today, we pause. We pause in our year to consider our accomplishments, to consider our blessings, to briefly look at our challenges, and then to look at steps that we may take going forward in the second half of the Rotary year. And this we may in all propriety do. Today, my fellow Rotarians, let us be encouraged in our noble pursuit of service and doing good. Now, at the start of our Rotary year, we said that our goal was to keep the Rotary engine running. And to do that, we said we needed to take steps. Well, you took up the challenge. The action steps that you have taken this year are stories of accomplishment and stick-to-itiveness. Proof positive that the story of Rotary is continuing in our world today. I must tell you that there have been more times than I can count so far, and probably will continue to be times in which I think, didn't say that quite right, or maybe someone else didn't say it quite right. I was reminded, though, of Benjamin Franklin's words where he said, "Well done is better than well said." Well done is better than well said. And for the next few minutes, I'd like us to just collectively think together about the things we've done so far this year, to which we can say, well done. There are accomplishments, every little step. And again, at the end of the project, it becomes an accomplishment. Joy to the Berg. Everyone remembers the whole point of this project was to raise money for helping homeless initiatives right here in Harrisburg. Well, Steve Swartz and Sheldon Jones took the point and spearheaded the project. Some of our club members were involved in planning. Some of our club members were musicians who donated recording time, and many of our members purchased CDs or downloaded tracks and made financial donations. And Carnes stores in the area helped to sell the product. And ABC 27 gave a nice push and gave some great publicity. And today, more than $25,000 has been raised for homeless initiatives right here in Harrisburg. Well done. Well, the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank has been another one of those action steps, right? We use the number of 1,000 boxes of food packed so far this year. That's 1,000 people and 1,000 families who had meals that were badly needed. Well done. A great big shout out to our exchange students and their families for coming out and helping as well. Well done. Now, for everyone, or to everyone, I would say, who has helped to raise awareness and publicity for the billboards that were out there. And I'm going to apologize to our newest member, Mary Kuna. Mary, I took the liberty of putting your picture here. It's on a billboard. So thank you for the billboards. For everyone who's been helping with the social media campaign by either creating publicity or taking those stories that are on Facebook and LinkedIn and sharing those to your friends, your family, putting them in your own newsfeed. You know, today there are more than 600 people following us on Facebook, 600 people following the Rotary Club of Harrisburg. At the beginning of our Rotary year, we didn't even have a LinkedIn page, and today there's 100 people following us there. 700 people following our club on social media. Well done. We are sharing the Rotary story. To everyone who helped to stamp dictionaries, well done. To everyone who came out and helped to pack welcome kits for the Dauphin County Library, well done. Remember Expedition Chesapeake, right? Who could forget? What a great story that was. And did you know that nearly 700 people viewed the presentation till it was all said and done? A great big thank you and a shout out go to a couple of our very generous members for sponsoring this presentation. Well done. Well done. Now, where in the world did this slide come from? I guess that was us having fun, which we found a way to do. Amazingly, it was a social distanced social. It was outside, but we've had fun so far this year. And I would say, well done. Well done. To everyone on our program committee for working hard at lining up great speakers and great programs and great presentations. To Tony, Mark, and the team for helping to mentor those students getting ready for the Rotary four-way test speech contest. For everyone who has been taking some leadership role in the district, Rotary District 7390. Well done. Well done. These little action steps that everyone is taking are helping to create those accomplishments that we were talking about at the beginning of our year. To everyone who helped to organize the bike ride for raising money for polio, and those of you who brought your bikes and rode up and down that trail, well done. Well done. To everyone who supported our lunch money donations, we've donated more than $20,000 this year so far to charities who are directly involved in delivering food to people in need. Well done. Well done. To our club administrator, Adeline, for holding it all together. Well done. Wow, not to leave anyone out. For everyone serving on a committee, I think about committees like Care Court as well. Well done. For everyone who sent ideas to the board, you know where to find us, right? Matt was there, and you can send all of your ideas to Matt from here on out. No, not really, but to everyone who helped make our Zoom meetings so successful. You showed up when you participated in those Zoom meetings, you practiced, you had your presentation together, and you helped to make our Zoom meetings a success. To everyone who provides support and has been providing support so far, I just want to say thank you as well to my wife, Karen, for all of the back office behind the scenes support. I couldn't be doing this without you. And even when you've been on a committee working on a project that we just didn't quite pull off because of the way the year was turning out, the stick-to-itiveness that you've demonstrated so far is a testimony to the can-do attitude of Rotarians. So well done, and thank you so much. Well done is truly better than well said. It reminds me a little bit of the words of John Wesley, who said, "Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, for as long as you ever can." So Rotary Club number 23 in all the world, let us not grow weary in our noble pursuit of doing good. For future Rotarians and our community and our world, look at us and will look at us in the same way that we reflect on the Rotarians who have come before us. The good work we are doing today is like that someone who planted a seed, which grew into a tree, which provided an opportunity for someone to sit in the shade. And I can think of no better way of building relationships and networking and making a difference in our world than to get involved in doing good and making the world a better place. We're truly blessed. We're blessed to have success stories. We're blessed to have incredible people here as members of our club. And we are blessed by the stick-to-itiveness that we are demonstrating in getting through a year like this one. But it's kind of interesting when we say getting through a year like this one, because what a year it has been, right? And the year is only halfway over, which, it's been a quick year so far, but it's also hard to believe that that we've got a half a year to go. I am sure that we will continue to deal with the challenges of COVID and the ensuing economic impact of this pandemic. Doing so will probably require us to continue to reimagine how it is that we do Rotary. So we face our challenges and we're honest about those challenges. No head in the sand. And I'm not sure, why I included that slide. It looked like fun, and we don't have our heads in the sand. So we'll keep moving here and talk about a few of the action steps that we can be taking here in the next 6 months. I just threw on virtual happy hours. I think that would be kind of fun. I'd be willing to do a virtual happy hour. I've never done one before, but we could always see how that works. We know there are homeless shelters around town that need volunteers, and I think we've got some board members following up on that. I think it would be great if we could reach 2,000 boxes of food packed by the time the year is over. How about reaching 1,000+ followers on Facebook and social media? Our program committee is hard at work with some exciting programs that you really don't want to miss. And I know that there is a young man from another Rotary district. I've seen the emails coming through, but I don't have all the details memorized yet. This young man has committed to hiking the Appalachian Trail in an effort to raise $100,000 for polio. He is scheduled to be here in our area in April. Jill Tenney is working at coordinating those details. And I think there may be an opportunity for our club to get alongside and help support that project and maybe have some fun along the way. And of course, we're planning that Meet the Board Member series where we'll be highlighting and featuring individual board members in each of our meetings for the next 12 to 15 weeks. So we've got things to do. We've got steps to take. And I can tell you, we probably couldn't have scripted. We couldn't have scripted where we've come over the last 6 to 8 months. But I have confidence that if we continue to be committed to taking those steps, just one step at a time, doing all the good we can, by whatever means we can, in all the possible ways we can, whatever that might be, in all the places we can, at all the times we can, to all the people we can, as long as we ever can. I have confidence that by the time President-elect Matt takes the proverbial mic or podium, whichever it might be, we will be sitting there looking back saying, well done. Rotary does indeed open those kinds of opportunities when all of us dive in and take the steps together. So let us be encouraged. Our club, I think, is in good shape, and we are looking forward to continuing the Rotary story as our Rotary year goes along. And when we do, I do believe that at some point in the future, a year, 5 years, 10 years, or 50 years, someone will be pursuing an opportunity. Someone will be sitting under the shade of a tree because today, in this time, in this place, you, Rotary Club number 23 in all the world, planted a seed. I have no idea how to turn this off. It's the bloopers here, Rotary Club 20. Thank you so much. Wasn't that fun right at the end? I really, we'll do that again sometime for sure. But thank you to everyone for your participation in our meeting today. I look forward to following up in all the ways that we do here in Rotary. Next week, next week, or no, next week we're not meeting. Our next meeting is January 25th, and our speaker there will be Gene Barr, President and CEO of the Pennsylvania Chamber of Business and Industry. And really looking forward to that presentation. So make it a great Rotary week. And I look forward to seeing you all in a couple of weeks.